Since toolboxes used to be so strong, surely the ones we have today are balanced, right? Well, not exactly. Back then, killers also had broken stuff, so they could actually deal with this pretty easily considering they had things that were just as strong. However, today killers will still complain about gen rushing. So how could that be? Since toolboxes were nerfed so much, how are they still so strong? A generator by default will take about 90 seconds or so for survivors to complete. However, with some toolboxes, this can be as little as 73 seconds. That is a drastic difference. And the thing about toolboxes is that they have virtually no drawback. Let's compare them with something like medkits. Medkits used to be super strong, but a couple months ago they were nerfed to what we have today, which I think is great. Now they have a really good drawback, that is, you can heal yourself but at a reduced speed. However, there are two problems that come with toolboxes. The first one is that toolboxes help you speed up the main objective. You don't have to be healed to escape the game, but you do have to finish all the generators to do so. And number two is that there are no drawbacks for generators. You just do the objective faster, and that is all there is to it. Toolboxes are insanely fast and they add zero interaction on the survivor side. You don't have to hit more skill checks to get used to them. You don't have to do really anything. You just have to bring a strong toolbox into the game. And this probably feels awful for killers, since some matches can go by in 10, maybe 15 minutes, and some matches can be done in 5 minutes, and the only difference is it could be the exact same group of survivors, but they just brought strong toolboxes. So let's go into the specifics and see just how much toolboxes will save you on a generator. Here's how much time every toolbox saves with no add-ons. A brown saves 5 seconds, a yellow 6, a commodious about 11, and an engineer 8. You might wonder why the engineer is so low. That's just because it helps you do the generator a lot faster but for a lot less charges. That's already bad enough without add-ons, since you literally have to do nothing. You just have to bring a toolbox in and press M2. But it gets worse with add-ons. Not only because the time increase is ridiculous, but a toolbox's best add-ons are browns and yellows. You don't need to find a super rare add-on. Let's get to just how insane the toolboxes become with the best add-ons you can put on them. A brown goes from 5 to 12, a yellow from 6 to 14, a commodious from 10 to 19, almost 20, and an engineer from 8 to 18. Why is this allowed into the game? You can do a generator almost a fifth faster with a green toolbox, and it's just a green and 2 yellows. It is so common and it is so easy to do. It requires no thought process. It's so oppressive for killers for absolutely free on the survivor side. Generally speaking, I think 90 seconds is more than enough for survivors to do a generator. It's not too hard on killer, and I think it's a pretty good balance, because if you make it even longer, survivor gets more boring than it already has to be. And I don't think any killer would argue that the base time for generators needs to be increased. That would be ridiculous. That would just be way too hard and boring for survivors. I think when people get mad about generators being done too fast, they're worried about toolboxes because they are so strong. And that's not even mentioning deja vu, resilience, hyperfocus, and stakeout, and prove thyself. I haven't even taken those into account, and they're still super strong, just standalone toolboxes with very common add-ons. I don't think toolboxes are healthy for the game. They are completely free to bring in. You don't have to work for them, other than I guess spending blood points, but I don't really count that. And you would be surprised just how different a game would go if you gave 4 survivors a green toolbox with 2 yellow add-ons than with no toolboxes at all. The game would look completely different, and I don't think that's okay, but that's just me. If you disagree with this, I would love to see a comment about it. And if you want to check out another video like this one, check out this video on why resilience isn't that good in Chase. And yeah, thank you for watching. Peace.